think uh, there would be a good idea for some business schools or some kind of training for freelancers so that they can be certified as good practicing freelancers?
Yeah, this is a good suggestion. Like some business schools who already have the infrastructure,
Correct.
they can start some.
Because it's not more on the skills of their editorial or translation, but more in terms of how to manage a freelance business.
Yeah.
So what are the basics that you need to do? It could be your finance, it could be your investments and so many, your time management, your people management skill. Is something like that possible in an industry of freelancers?
I think it should be there definitely, but I would say this comes later. What should come earlier is like freelancers without industry exposure.
Okay.
They need to get some kind of a polishing by associating themselves with people who have been in the industry. Like if you want to be a freelancer, if you want to earn money, you have to be willing to spend money also by investing in yourself.
Right.
Because they need to know the good practices.
So currently, is there anything like certified freelancers, non-certified freelancers?
There is, but all these certifications are given by organizations that are based in the West.
Okay.
Like you have an exam which is called, if you clear that, you become an editor of life sciences.
Okay.
Like ELS gets attached to your name.
Okay.
It's like a doctor has an MBBS.
Nothing of this in India?
Nothing in India, but like Indians can also appear for that exam because there is a company in Mumbai which is actually taking care of conducting this exam.
Okay.
So they hold it in Mumbai.
Okay.
And I did get in touch with the organization, asked them to hold it in Delhi. They said they don't have a problem, they just need a place. So I had proposed that when I was part of Aptara, but now that I'm not part of it, so...
But which means, are you saying not many freelancers would know there is something like this existing?
They will know, but then maybe they wouldn't know how to
appear
for the exam or where is it being conducted.
Okay.
So there's a lack of awareness.
Okay. And coming to subject knowledge, how good a freelancer can get on his subject?
Subject knowledge, I would say, will be more of a disadvantage because anybody who knows the subject starts going deeper. He or she starts interfering into somebody else's thinking process.
Oh, okay.
So that actually is a disadvantage because the content that appears in journals or magazines, it has already been peer reviewed by a panel who are subject experts.
So what you're saying is, you may be a physicist, you may be a microbiologist, leave that aside and just focus on the skills that are needed to either copy edit or XYZ, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
And do not try to show your skills on the subject.
Yeah, because you can get labeled by that you are doing over editing, which is not actually required. And instead of copy editing, a lot of people start doing rewriting, which is not what the publisher expects. The publisher's expectations are like very clear in terms of what they want to be done.
Coming to all this various groups, professional groups that exist today, which you can see it on the LinkedIn, how good or how disadvantageous it can be to be part of such professional groups?
I would say like in terms of disadvantages, I don't see any disadvantage. There are only advantages because you have a query and because you are a freelancer, you can't ask someone sitting next to you. So you can post your question there and then people from all around the world, they will get back to you with their answers. So you will get different opinions and then you can take your own decision.
Correct. Coming to industry practices, how does a freelancer get exposed to the industry practices?
Like on my part, like as part of cleanexpresscopy.com, we have a training program called Professional Touch. So I purposely labeled it Professional Touch because that is something that I was seeing missing.
Let me interrupt you here, Vivek. What is exactly industry practices?
Industry practices is like you need to know the publishers' expectations.
Okay.
What you have to do, because
So
then,
do they have a guideline? Do they give you a guideline when you do some freelancing work for them?
yeah, they do give, but like it might not be as detailed. So they will give you some document, but you don't really know how to use that document or what supporting documents you need to ask for.
Right.
So if you don't know where you are going, how are you going to reach there? So if you associate with some professionals, they will tell you, okay, this is the job you have to do, and these are the inputs that you need to have
Correct.
to bring the required output.
Amazing, amazing. We all the time talk about the expectations of publishers and KPO from freelancers, but I'm sure there are freelancers' expectations from publishers and KPOs. Do you want to give those one or two or three most expectations of a freelancer?
Well, I would say it would be better if they had a uniform rates for freelancers, because otherwise,
Let's start from the freelancer's point. So a freelancer expectation one, the uniform rates.
yeah, uniform rates.
Okay. Two.
So that no time gets lost in negotiations.
Correct.
Second is there should be an agreement, has to be in place.
Okay.
A lot of times it's missing, and payments need to be like more regular. A lot of companies issue checks, then it might be that it's from a different bank or a different city, so you lose time.
A lot of time.
So maybe if they made direct bank transfer possible, so that helps.
So in general, as the KPOs and the publishers expect the freelancers to be professional, in a similar way, freelancers also expect that the organization have to be professional, whether it's money, rate, responsiveness, and so many other things. Right?
Yeah.
Right. And you think freelancers should be bold enough to take up such matters with the KPO or a publisher, irrespective of how big is this KPO or a publisher?
Yeah, they definitely need to take care of these things or talk about these things if they want to avoid getting used. Like they have done some work but they don't get the payment,
Correct.
or they get paid less than what somebody else working for the same company is getting paid.
Okay. See, there are basic, I understand most of the KPOs or publishers would engage freelancers into copy editing, maybe a little bit into content writing, right? What are the most other popular freelancing services that the KPOs and the publishers would look for?
When I talk of the editorial services, then indexing is one option, which has
good scope,
which has a lot of demand, and it's something that you can learn very fast, and you don't have to invest too much of time. Then editorial proofreading is another option, because this is an activity that a lot of publishers ask that it should be done. So these are two areas about which people are not aware, but they can explore these areas.
What about translations, or are they good areas, or there's not much work happening on translation?
Translation, I would say there will be scope in publishing companies, but not so much in KPOs.
Okay.